Hi everybody, welcome to today's video.
Okay, let's talk about multi-generational wiring.
Oh my gosh, multi-generational wiring. There comes a time in every house's life where it probably makes more sense to rip out systems, wiring, plumbing, things like that, and start over again. So what you end up with when you don't do that, if you're trying to flip a house on the cheap, is multi-generational wiring. So just standing here in this cellar, we've got BX, which is this armored wiring, which typically dates back to the 30s or 40s for us here. There's some brand new BX right behind Liz that is service for something they ran. Looking at the top of this, we have got some newer Romex, some older Romex, and then some really old Romex that probably dates back to the 50s or 60s at the latest. And in addition to that, we've already talked to the client and they've seen knob and tube in parts of the house, so we know we've got knob and tube. So we have probably got somewhere between 4 and 6 different generations of wiring in this house. The chances of finding it installed incorrectly are really, really high. So we're going to find electrical problems with this house.
And what can a buyer do to remedy that other than replace it all?
Well, what our recommendation is going to be is have a good electrician come in and evaluate the entire system and decide what they need to do to bring everything up to spec and to basically make it safe. But if there's any active knob and tube, that's going to have to come out. If there's shoddy workmanship, which given what we're seeing so far here, there's probably going to be, that's going to have to be fixed. And that's why I say at a certain point in time, it makes more sense to just yank it out and start over, because otherwise you're trying to splice new good work into old bad work, and there's just too much room for error.
Is this something that you commonly see with flips where they focus on the cosmetic changes?
Yeah. Remember, flippers are trying to make as much money as possible on a house. Inventory prices are really high right now, so budgets tend to be really tight. So they take shortcuts and they only do mechanically, electrically what they absolutely have to do, because they also want to make the house pretty and saleable. Like this one, it's got old vinyl siding on the outside that they have literally painted, and that paint isn't going to last. And even more importantly, down here, we've got 6 different generations of wiring. Standing here, galvanized pipe, PVC behind Liz, PEX behind Liz. We've got 3 or 4 different generations of plumbing in this house. It's just pieced together, if that makes sense. And that's going to cause problems.
Okay, ballpark figure to replace it and make it all
Electrical,
yeah.
anywhere between, I'm going to say, $3 and $5 grand to replace the electrical, and you're going to damage some of the finishes upstairs doing that. Plumbing is probably a little easier because you can basically do it all from down here. It's a 1-story house, but you're still probably $3 to $5 grand for the plumbing here as well. So that $6,000 to $10,000 is probably every bit of profit that they've got in this house. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. This is what we always talk about in CE classes when knob and tube wiring is bad, because they have tied newer Romex right into that knob and tube. And they've used wire nuts and tape, which you are not supposed to do. It's supposed to be a soldered connection. So we have got, what do we count, 6 different generations of wiring in here?